Hey, what's going on, everybody? In this video, we're going to be doing a fantasy book review of Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. And this was a book I've been recommended to by lots of people. Robin Hobb in particular is like one of those authors that just gets recommended to me all the time. So I decided to try it out. I finished this book last month, but I'm just now getting, filming it just because. But anyways, so let's get started. I'll start off by saying I'm not a big fan of the whole assassin character thing, I guess. I just think it's overdone so many times now, just from what I'm seeing. But I mean, I could be wrong just because I'm still fairly new to the fantasy genre. But anyways, I still decided to give this book a shot because I heard that Robin Hobb is an excellent author. So, she's got 4 or 5 trilogies out now, and I decided, might as well just start into the Elderling universe with Assassin's Apprentice, and let's get started. Basically, with this book, we have Fitz, who is a royal son, but the problem is he's a bastard of a prince known as Chivalry. So in this society, bastards pretty much have no respect in power or authority or whatever, despite their royal lineage. And so, essentially, when his father is out of the picture, Fitz ends up going in what actually turns out to be his grandfather's royal estate and castle. And even though he's not completely shunned or exiled per se, he's definitely kind of pretty low on the totem pole, basically being like a stable boy for most of his childhood, that sort of thing. And what happens is, as he grows up, he becomes more incorporated into the sort of court life that is going on. Even in this limited position, Fitz is able to take on some unique abilities. He has an inherent magical power known as the Wit, which basically allows him to bond with animals like really easily, like through his mind. But also, he's able to learn another magical set of abilities at this royal place, as well as particular to him, he is, an assassin's apprentice to like a master assassin. However, this sort of leads to my first major problem with the book, which is basically Fitz is moping the entire book, essentially. I mean, I know he's sort of like an angsty teenager, I guess, for the majority of it, but if you really look at his position, he's still better off than probably like 99% of society, to be honest. I mean, he's like well-fed, well-kept. He's got a roof over his head and everything. He's literally trained under a master assassin, so theoretically he knows how to go around like killing people in the shadows, stuff like that. He also has, like I said, the magical properties of the Wit, so he already has some sort of inherent abilities to communicate and bond with animals, which not too many people seem to have in this world. And he's also at least partially trained in the skill which allows you to basically communicate with other people that have the skill, basically telepathically or something like that. But anyways, like I said, he's basically got better off than a lot of people in society, but just because I guess he's a bastard, which really, if you think about it, probably there's tons of bastards in this like sort of medieval era society. It still doesn't really justify him like completely moping about his like existence, like chapter after chapter after chapter. I don't know, I just found that like kind of grated on me after a while. A little bit was okay, I guess that would make sense, but it seems like anytime he has any sort of, he goes through any valley in his life, he goes into like some nihilistic depression and just like whines and mopes and doesn't do anything for like months on end, and it's just, I don't know, I thought that was kind of silly, to be honest. And it was in this way that actually in the book, Fitz was probably like my least favorite major character, which is kind of weird considering pretty much the whole book is told through his perspective. But that sort of leads into like some of the good things I did like about the book, namely being, even though I didn't like Fitz, I guess, that much, he was just kind of a middle-of-the-road character for me just because he moped around so much. But pretty much all the other side characters, both the good guys and the bad guys, I really, really enjoyed. Especially Verity. Like, Prince Verity is the man. If you read this, like, he's like super cool and noble, and he's a beast. But yeah, he's probably like my favorite character in the book. I also like the Fool. He's pretty cool and witty. He's pretty funny. I definitely enjoyed his brief encounters with Fitz. And even characters like King Shrewd and stuff, I don't know, for some reason I just really liked pretty much everyone else around Fitz. They seemed to be all pretty unique and had like really interesting quirks and things like of that nature. And it's just, I don't know, Fitz just seemed kind of a drag compared to every other person in the book for whatever reason. So it just seemed like the whole estate of Buckkeep just seemed like a really unique and lively place. I don't know, I just think it worked really well. Another thing that the book really has going for it is it's unique in the sense, like I was saying, Fitz pretty much is the only point of view character because it's written essentially in the first person, the entire book, which is really refreshing for a fantasy book, to be honest. I sometimes books definitely I think get out of control with the POVs. If you have literally like a dozen different points of view throughout all the chapters, it can just be a little crazy. But yeah, it was definitely refreshing just having almost sort of like a heroic fantasy where it's just basically the one character and you follow them the entire way through the narrative of the story. Thought that was really good. Plus, Robin Hobb really is a really good writer. That definitely helped a lot. Since I didn't enjoy Fitz that much, it was still like a pleasure reading about him. Even though I didn't like his personality that much, the way Robin Hobb writes the book it's really just really easygoing. But her prose is really good. So even though I didn't enjoy Fitz all that much, I'm definitely going to continue the series just because Robin Hobb's writing style is just really fluid and really clear. And just nicely written overall. Plus, I like the whole cast of characters working together. It's just a nice, kind of quirky, lively bunch. I'm definitely going to continue this trilogy at least. And I'm going to give Assassin's Apprentice 4 out of 5 stars. And hopefully Fitz kind of gets out of his little melancholy phase in the coming books. But always remember, read victoriously.